Alexi is a curious and very hardworking young man. He was the swimmer of the year, I would say competitive but very focused on his goals.
He had big plans for the summer, looking forward to school. We had just come back from the school that he was going to be attending, and we were all very excited about that. Then, he started to get sick.
So it all kind of started with a migraine, and eventually those symptoms started to persist, as well as a really high temperature that was pretty stubborn.
Tatiana was out of the country on business, and we went to the local hospital. His doctor called again and said, well, it looks like it's more complicated, so he needs to go to Riley. And that was when the alarm sort of went off.
His red blood cells were getting destroyed on a constant basis, and that made us obligated to keep giving him blood transfusion. And at that time, we were not sure, is this an infection? Is this a malignancy? This could be any of this or all of them together. It was a very rare condition, yet extremely serious and very fatal if not recognized and treated.
I remember very clearly landing in Indy, getting to the hospital, and they came back with a diagnosis of HLH.
HLH is basically where your immune system is dysregulated and you have this hyperinflammation. And then all that inflammation from your own cells is damaging your tissue and your organs.
So we had to react immediately. That included some steroids and some actually chemotherapy that target these cells and control this dysregulated immune response in the body.
I've always called him Alexander the Great, and Alexander the Great entered the biggest battle. I remember one of the times sitting back and not just thinking, why him? Why let it be me? As a parent, you wanted to take that.
I would say there's over 50 doctors that were involved in my case at some point, and almost every department at Riley.
From the very beginning, it was arms wrapped around us and included us in all of it. And there were 25 people outside of his room, and we had a voice.
It was a tough decision early on to treat him with steroids. This medicine is life-saving. To stop the HLH at the same time, there is a chance of consequences.
The steroids really were eating up at his femurs, his bones, and eventually he ended up with 2 core decompression surgeries. And at the end of that, he learns that he has to have a hip replacement surgery.
The hip replacement improved his quality of life dramatically. What happened at Riley not only, saved him physically, it opened these doors for him. He's a different person today, and he has 1 more year of school in culinary science and sustainable food systems. And he's also going to be competing in his first bodybuilding competition.
I want him to be happy and live the life that he wants to live, and we couldn't do that without all of these treatments. And if it's not near 100% survival rate for kids, then that's not good enough. And the way that we get better at that is through research.
So I encourage anyone who has a way to say thank you and pay it forward to do it with Riley, because they will make sure that that has the biggest impact on the most amount of children in our state.